Hey guys, this is Sly here, and over the past few weeks I've been drawing, and I'm going to be posting some videos on tips and me drawing and coloring and stuff, but I'm going to show you some of my drawings, and then I'll continue working on another one. So I'm going from latest to most recent. So this one it's kind of all out of my mind. It's kind of magical, kind of like a witch. This one's kind of like a rebel girl. I have no idea what she's holding. I just put a square there to figure something out, and then it stayed as a square. And her hands are kind of small, and her head is kind of big. But I've been kind of working on that. Anyways, this guy, his hands are small, his head is big. But this is what I have. Yeah, I cannot draw eyes. I need help. If you have any tips, please tell me. Anyways, this guy is kind of like sporty, you know. Okay, she is interesting. She's a fox, kind of like my YouTube channel. Yeah, I like designs. I do not have a wide variety of blonde or yellow colors. These are my colors that I have. These are Ohuhu markers. Anyways, these are my yellow options. It's not very big, but I made it work. And then this one I just recently finished. I know it's like not colored, but that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. So she's looking off that way, and she has a flower in her hair, and the background is colored. And this is the one I've been working on. This person could be a girl. I think it's a girl. Could be a boy as well. But they're wearing a hoodie. The hood's kind of small. Sorry about that. And their hair is short. But I still need to work on this. So I'm going to work a little, and I'll give you tips as we go. So just make sure that you always proportion it. I kind of draw circles. It helps. Draw a circle for the head. Drawing circles always makes it easier to make sure you don't get out of proportion. Like these people, I didn't draw circles. I know they look interesting, so that's probably why. I'm just gonna make this a boy. No, it's a girl. Because I can't draw boys. It doesn't work. Except for this guy. But it still didn't really work. Anywho. So always make sure when you're drawing the stomach area that you don't just draw straight lines down. Kind of give them some curves and stuff, if you know what I mean. Anyways, make sure that when you draw hair, you might never draw. Here, I'll get another sheet of paper and do some sketching and show you what to do and not to do. So, there we go. Do not. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick sketch here. See. And these might look bad, but I'm still kind of just showing you what to do and not to do. So these are kind of beginner tips. These are not expert stuff, but when you draw hair, make sure that it's somewhat realistic, not too fantasized unless that's what you're going for. Sorry for the dog. This is gonna be really bad, but it's just to show you. So this is basically kind of what you do. It's a great face there. But what you do not want to do is you do not, even when you're drawing realistically, like you can give it some highlights or whatever to help it look more realistic, but never draw like every single strand of hair. It doesn't work out even if you think it will. Like, you can make it look similar to this, but better if you don't draw every strand of hair. Because when you draw every strand of hair, it just doesn't work. Also, when you draw hair, make sure that after you draw the face, however you want to draw the head or face, that once you have this, you don't draw the hair right on this. You kind of, what I do is I kind of draw a half circle and kind of make the part line, and then you work from there. You can do it however you want, but make sure it's like not straight on the head. Anyways, another thing to do is with eyes. I cannot draw eyes, but I can still give you a few tips. So, like the top curve needs to be a bit more curved than the bottom. The bottom is not a straight line, but it's not as curved. Then you want the actual like eye to be circular or different shape, but just not this. You do not want this. Like, depending on what you're doing, this might work, but usually it does not. And then you also want to give it like draw circles before you color it in or whatever, where you kind of leave that white or not colored. I don't know if you color, but even sketching, you want to leave that blank, because then it gives it like reflection and stuff. And then if you're not going to color, or just to get some look, start at the top of the eye where you're coloring in and give it in like shade lighter as you go down. That's what I do. And then over here, you probably don't want to do this. This just looks a bit boring. And then you also want to give this a bit darker around the eye. You want it to be a bit darker. And so this is like, there's another eye over here, but make sure you give it kind of like, you don't have to, but it would probably be better to give it some eyebrows. This is kind of my go-to way of drawing eyebrows. It's a bit big and wonky, but that's what you do. There you go. And then over here, hi. This, it might work for you, but this would always be better. Anything else to do and not to do? I'll show you my way of drawing heads. I'll show you two ways. So both ways you need a circle to start with. Then you kind of, my way, I sketch almost half, like on one side of the circle, and then you kind of go out, kind of like as a chubby cheek kind of. Then you go around like this. This isn't the best, but you'd go around like that and then kind of trace the circle. And this top part, it doesn't really matter because eventually you'll have hair, like a half circle like I showed you earlier. And another way is the kind of more realistic way. you kind of do a similar thing, but you keep it a bit more, like, don't really do the cheek kind of thing, you just keep it like this. But you want everything to be kind of rounded, because you don't want just like a straight face. Like, that'll work. It's not really how I draw, but that can work. If you're drawing realistic, make sure the shoulders are out past the head, because that's, if you look in a mirror, that's how it works. But when I draw, I kind of have the shoulders kind of small. That's just how I learned when I started drawing. It's bothering me. Okay, then over here, like, you don't have to start with a circle if you've had practice, but like, I'll show you this and this again. Never do this, never have like straight points on it, because when it's pointy, 1, it doesn't look good, 2, it doesn't even look like a head, unless like you're for some reason drawing that certain way, like, I don't know, maybe it's for a project or something, but you probably never want to do that. What a difference it makes when you don't put pointy curves and stuff. Anyways, any other tips? Okay,